Hello, boils and ghouls. This is John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper, and you are watching my good fiends at Bump in the Night TV.
Good evening, boils and ghouls. Welcome to Bump in the Night. I'm your host, Orson, and with me is my sidekick, Bourbon Hitchcok.
Hey.
What's tonight's topic, Bourbon?
Tonight's topic is urban legends in television and horror movies as well.
Oh, nice choice. Do you have a top favorite?
Right off the top, one of my favorites is, I'm going to say Amityville Horror.
Oh, so good. With Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Story about her and her husband.
I mean, the one from the 70s scared me, and the modern take on it has scared me.
Yeah, and and it also was inspiration for several spin-off movies. You had The Nun, you had
Conjuring?
The Conjuring, yes. Then you also had Annabelle, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, the creepy possessed doll. That's always creepy for some people.
The thing is, too, is the Warrens was always, there was so many people trying to debunk their work, trying to do,
Well, people are always trying to debunk the paranormal.
Yeah. But that was one of my favorite urban legends.
I remember when I was a young corpse, the movie Chud used to scare the heck out of me.
Oh, yeah. I like that with the sewer creatures.
Yeah, they would grab people and drag them in the sewers and eat them based on the old New York urban legend. I would just jump over manhole covers to make sure I didn't get grabbed by a Chud.
Another one of my favorite ones is an old HBO series that turned into a movie called The Hitcher. If you remember that, it was...
Okay, so it was a movie series. It wasn't actually a series. It was written by Eric Red, and it starred the late, great Rutger Hauer.
Yes.
And that was the urban legend of the serial killer hitchhiker.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, another one come to my mind. The movie, I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, yeah, the Hookman urban legend.
Hookman urban legend, yeah. Always got to have a movie with a killer and a bunch of horny teenage kids.
You can't go wrong with killing horny teenagers.
Can't go wrong. What one have you got? You got another?
Blair Witch Project.
Oh, Blair Witch. One of the first POV movies. Well, popular POV movies that came out.
The found footage stuff.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it when the day it opened, thinking it was still real. And I thought to myself, I could get out of there. I would just set the whole woods on fire, and here would come the Rangers to save me.
Probably what I'd do. I'd just run home.
Run home.
Run home. When a Stranger Calls.
That's like one of the oldest modern day urban legends.
Yeah.
The phone call when she's babysitting the kids, and it's the killer.
Yeah.
And at the end, the police trace the call, and it's in the house. The call is coming from in the house.
Oh, in the house. So what was one of your favorite ones? Absolute favorite ones ever?
Candyman.
Candyman.
It combines two urban legends into one.
Yeah.
Can you name them?
I'm gonna say one of them was Bloody Mary.
Yes.
And the other one would be Hookman.
Yeah. And what's funny about Candyman is, well, not funny, but what's creepy about it is like it's turned into its own urban legends. I remember kids would not go into the bathroom and say Candyman 3 times instead of the Bloody Mary legend. Were there any urban legends Little Bourbon was scared of when he was a kid?
Oh, man. There was a local family story about a Craig Miles child that drowned in a pool, and there was always a legend that she was seen scouring through the streets of my local town. And it make you think about it. Of course, we never really saw it, but What about you?
The trick or treat poison or razor blade in the candy was the scariest urban legend when I was a kid because I was afraid I was going to eat some poison or razor blade. I didn't know it was going to happen 12 times and I'd become the talking corpse that I am. Tonight's guest is urban legend Matt Harris, and let's take a look at some of his work right now. Okay. I'm not putting down my cigar whiskey. Bourbon? Just do it.
Hello.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Bump of the Night presents your comedian for the night, Matt Harris.
Awesome. I'm super happy to be here on Bump in the Night, or as I like to call it, Cocaine After Dark. Am I right? Oh, yeah. Freaking couldn't find the place on the way here. Thank God I made it safe because I recently realized I could save a ton of money on my car insurance if I switched to not buying any. So, somebody came up to me after a show this week. They said, Matt, your comedy's hilarious. It's thebomb.com. And I thought in the back of my head, like, wait, that's really nice of them to say, but, I wonder if that's a real website, thebomb.com. Long story short, I'm now on a watch list, so I was at a bar this week, overheard a guy telling his lady, he said, baby, I'm a grower, not a shower, which is interesting because basically what he was saying is, hey, it works. You know what I mean? Nobody I know is that into the show part of the penis. You know what I mean? Nobody's really into the show part of the penis. It's more like, nobody's ever like, get you a good look, baby. But don't touch. Don't you know that this is strictly for show? Smoke starts coming out of his underwear. There's a laser show. Robert E. Lee rides a horse across his balls. He puts a top hat on it. Hello, my honey. Hello, my baby. Hello, my ragtime gal. Tries to saw a woman in half. But on the flip side, no woman I know is ever talking to her lady friends and saying, like, oh, ladies, let me tell you, the sex was okay. But, whoo, my God. The showmanship. The people my dad's age are always saying stuff like, I got spanked when I was a kid and I turned out just fine. Well, I got spanked when I was a kid and I am super fucked up, so you know what I mean? Take it or leave it. Don't let me discourage you from spanking your kids. They're your kids, Kill them for all I care. I was thinking Little Debbie should start making condoms. Because they got all the names down already, you know what I mean? They got the cream pie, the nutty buddy. Want to get a little nasty, reach around back with the fudge round. I travel a lot for comedy. Means I get stuck in traffic all the time. You know what I mean? Literally every week I'm stuck in traffic. But I am still waiting to get stuck in that sex traffic I keep hearing all about. And just to be clear, sir, I feel like I might need to specify this to you. I said sex traffic, not sex traffic-ing. That's an important ing. You know what I'm saying? Not selling women into sexual slavery here. We're talking consenting adults fucking on a freeway. You know what I mean? I want to turn on the radio in my car and hear like, this is your 92.3 big eye in the sky, and 75 is a little backed up today. Because there's an orgy in Eastridge. You better believe I'm going to be getting off in Eastridge, you know what I mean? Instead, every town I go to has some car dealer in town who literally has no clue how business works. Every single week he's ordering too many Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Mitsubishi. In my town, he's called it Venture Joe. That's his name. And every week he's on the radio going like, hey, y'all, my name's Adventure Joe. And more than I fuck up this time. Every car must go or my wife will leave me. credit, forget it. Buy a car for a nickel, sir. I will suck your pickles, sir. I'm Matt Harris. Thanks so much. Yeah,
It's good to
you
see you
better
tonight,
be,
sir.
man. It's
No.
good to be.
Would
good
you
to
like
be
a
here.
drink?
I'll take a small one. How about it?
Alrighty. So, tell me, how long have you been doing comedy?
I have been a comedian for coming up on my 4-year anniversary.
All right. And what made you first decide this was what you wanted to do?
I moved to college. I went to college in a big city, and like kind of my country sensibility, my twang in my voice. Everybody just thought I was the funniest thing since sliced bread. Which is hilarious if you haven't heard. But yeah, people, I don't know, that's when people started telling me, oh, you need to be a comedian, you need to be a comedian. It took several years. What are we drinking, by the way? It took several years, but I eventually nutted up, and here I am.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but it's a Weller 12-year-old special reserve. It's a wheated bourbon.
A wheated bourbon.
And if they want to sponsor us, that would be great.
Woo-hoo, buddy! Quite weeded, I would say. Quite weeded. Will weeded.
Hey, Matt, do you have any urban legends that you remember from your childhood?
From my hometown, there was an urban legend called the Old Number 9 Bridge. And it was kind of part of the... Might fit a little better in a Satanic Panic episode. I don't know if you guys plan on doing that. But it was at the Old Number 9 Bridge out in the woods and just past the town limits where nobody would go. It was this bridge that the train would pass in the woods where nobody was around. And apparently they did like animal and children sacrifices down there. Turns out maybe not so much, but that's what we told ourselves when we were younger. That was the big one, the Old Number 9 Bridge.
Just the party spot for the trailer kids.
Yeah, and it really ended up just being like kids who had dropped out of high school there, like doing their mom's pills. That's what really happened at the Old Number 9 Bridge.
The mom's pills. That's what killed me the 20th time.
Oh, yeah. How many times have you died now, actually?
Don't really keep up. I know bourbon's dug me up every single time. How many times have I died so far?
I think I lost count around 23.
23.
Diabetes the first time.
Yeah.
I'm working on alcoholism.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too.
So, this comedy gig you got going on, let me ask you the important questions. Does it get you laid?
Once or twice. I'll be on. Once or twice, maybe.
That's better than I'm doing. So, do you have a favorite horror film that deals with urban legends?
Yeah, man. Without a doubt, it's Candyman. That movie has been a big part of my life since I was young. It's, of all the horror movies I liked, I used to be really big into the original Texas Chainsaw. Candyman just aged better, in my opinion. Of like the horror movies that have been a big deal in my life, Candyman is the one that stood the test of time. It's now 30 years.
It's been 30 years?
I mean, it came out in 92, 93. I can't remember exactly. You'll have to check me on that.
Doing a remake of it.
Yeah, with Jordan Peele. They're actually going to be doing a remake.
I'll accept that. His
Yeah,
films have been
I mean,
really
he's had 2, and they've been amazing. Which brings me just into the idea that we've got a really great young horror directing coming out lately. Jordan Peele's released 2 great movies with Us and what was the other one?
Get Out.
Get Out, yeah, obviously. The guy who did The Witcher, or not The Witcher, The Witch, and he's about to release The White House, or The Lighthouse.
Which is the White House pretty scary.
Yeah, it's terrifying. No, The Lighthouse, which is apparently about killer mermaids, but it's supposed to be really great. And then the guy who, I can't remember his name, I should have done a little more research, but the guy who did Hereditary, which is my favorite horror that I've seen within the last year. But and then he just released Midsummer, if you have seen that.
No, it's on the list.
Now, there was one movie I think that we kind of overlooked, possibly. Maybe, is Rawhead Rex considered a urban legend?
Maybe in like Scotland or Ireland where it's from. I know it's based on Clive Barker.
If you really think about which is Candyman or
yeah,
and
right.
then Hellraiser, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hellbound Heart. But if you think about it, like really all horror, like to us, what horror is urban legend. Horror is urban legend come to life. Like these two guys on my shirts, two of the big bads, Freddy and Jason. Like in universe, these guys are urban legends came to life. They're what goes bump in the night.
And, I mean, the urban legend is kind of what gives Freddy his power. I mean,
Yeah,
which
the
they
belief,
forgot about
the
him,
belief, then when Freddy's dead and all that came out, it was like, oh, no one else believes. Or Freddy versus Jason, where he used Jason to make people believe in him somehow. It's pretty weird.
It seems like in the early movies, Jason and Freddy were not urban legends, but by the tail end of the series, they were considered more of urban legends. Because the movies would always start out with people talking about them, but they weren't real, and then they would come real.
Well, that's what makes them urban legends is the start at the beginning where people are talking about it. In on Elm Street, it's the teenagers talking about, oh, this man visiting in my dreams. At Camp Crystal Lake, every single movie, the counselors or the kids or whoever's there talk about the legend of Jason and how. In the first original, it was how he drowned. In the later ones, it's how he came back to kill everybody. Even in the 2009 remake,
So bad.
I liked it.
He was like an angry pot farmer.
I liked it, man. I liked it. In the beginning of that movie, where they set up the whole cast and crew, and then Jason killed them all within the first 15 minutes, I liked it. I'll argue with you about that one.
It just came off like an angry pot farmer because the first people he kills, he doesn't kill till they find his pot. Then he kills the guy who's selling the pot from the barn.
I've never really thought about that.
And then Otto's bus from The Simpsons, who's a notorious pot smoker, was part of the booby trap that they used.
Yeah, don't ever mess with a machete wielded pot farmer. Like never. But yeah, Candyman was my favorite urban legend for sure. That movie for me has stood the test of time. The city of Chicago was a character in it. The apartments of Cabrini Green were a character in it. And also, like, there was a blurred line between what was real because the woman who's the protagonist of the movie, was attacked by a guy, like just a nefarious criminal who attacked her in the bathroom using the moniker of Candyman. You know what I mean? So even in that, and then she kind of goes, maybe it's a schizophrenic break. Who knows? You know what I mean? She starts to lose grip with reality and not know what's myth, what's legend, and what's reality.
So, did you ever yourself go in the bathroom and say Candyman 3 times?
Yeah. When I was like 14, I was so terrified that my dad actually put a gun to my head and told me that I had to do it or he would kill me. That's the kind of house I grew up in. So,
it's kind of the trauma that led to being a comedian.
Yeah, exactly. And then after that, I was like, you know what's really funny? Dick jokes. And I was on from there.
Distract the violence with
Yeah.
Say that.
Not true. If my dad's watching this, it's not true. It's not true. I'm just trying to be funny, Dad. Look how big this skull is. It's way too big. It's like as big as my head is normally.
Where did you find that at anyway?
It was in the grave right beside yours. And it was already half dug up, so I just finished it up.
Such a lazy henchman.
That's me.
I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to Bump in the Night. Tonight's guest has been Matt Harris.
Thank you.
Where can we see you at?
You can see me coming up. I'm going to be on the Chucklebud Show, ran by Bryant Smith. You can catch me most weekends at the Chattanooga Comedy Catch, or if you're looking for my tour dates, check me out on Matt Harris on Facebook.
Well, thanks for tuning in, and due to budgetary constraints, this is the part of the show where we kill the guest. Bourbon, would you get the camera?
Kill the who?
Kill the guest. Would you hold your head up for it? I can get a clean stroke in it.